Hi everyone, in today's video we're obviously doing something a little bit different to normal, and I'm going to be sharing with you this really easy, straightforward, imperfect, half skull Halloween makeup look. Being completely honest, I'm not the biggest Halloween fan, but my children are, and it's my job every single year to do their Halloween makeup. I can guarantee that no matter what your skill level, you will be able to achieve this. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. Before we get started, I just want to be really clear that I have not invented this makeup. There are hundreds of videos, tutorials out there that will teach you how to do this makeup look. Mine is going to be a super simplified version of the hundreds of tutorials that I have watched on this. We're starting by looking a little bit crazy. I have done half of my makeup. The first time I did this makeup look was on my 8-year-old daughter, so there was nothing on this side. So it's completely up to you. This is just a little suggestion, a bit of a red lip. You can go deeper than this, you can go more natural than this. Completely your choice. For today's tutorial, you can use anything that you want. You can use basic paintbrushes. These cost me £3 from Amazon. I'm going to be using some of my makeup brushes, in particular pencil brushes. Use anything that you see fit. Some face sponges would be really handy. I got these from Amazon. They're shaped like this, and I feel like it's really handy for just getting around kind of the edges and intricate parts of the face, but you can just use a normal makeup sponge. And there are two colors that you need: black and white. I'm going to be using some face paints. These are by Snazaroo. Over here in Ireland and the UK, these are very popular. They are water-based face paints. They are so easy to use, and more importantly, so easy to remove, and they do not clog your pores. But I'm also going to be using a black eyeshadow. I would advise though picking a matte black eyeshadow. I would avoid the shimmery and the sparkly ones. I find that black eyeshadows are a little bit easier to soften and buff out. So I'm going to dip into some black eyeshadow, and this is just a Morphe pencil brush. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line where my cheekbone is, just to carve that section out, because I feel like that is actually the hardest part of this makeup look to do. Our cheek outline is going to come down here and kind of fade out to the bottom. And while you're there, you can just blend it out really gently. Now, don't forget, we are going in with white face paint. So when we go in with white face paint, you are inevitably going to touch upon this part, but just a rough outline is all that you need. Next, we're just going to mark out the eye socket. So you're just going to follow your natural eye socket. And don't forget, this does not have to be perfect. That's the beauty of doing a skull, is it's so imperfect. Follow it up to the eyebrow and round. This is a Refa 34 and it looks like this. I'm going to dip into the eyeshadow, and I am going to just mark out the center of my nose. So I bring the line halfway up the nose, and then I connect the top of the line to the corner of the nose, kind of making a triangle shape. Then I'm taking a really cheap paintbrush, just going to dampen it slightly, and I'm going to dip into my black face paint. And all I'm going to do is fill in my eye and fill in my nose. And I'm just picking up a smaller paintbrush and just going around the edges. This does not have to be neat and tidy, just whack it on. Obviously, if you want this to be completely anatomically correct, pull up a picture of a skull. There are plenty of them on Google. Mine is loosely anatomically correct. So next I'm going to dampen one of these sponges, and you don't want it to be wet, soaking wet, just damp. And then I'm going to dip into the white face paint. I always like to pop it on with a sponge very loosely, and then I like to push it in with a brush. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So don't worry as well if you bleed in to these dark bits. It's very, very easy to fix. Just make sure you don't go too far up to the hairline because we are going to be shading that in with the black. Then I'm just going in with a makeup brush and I'm just going to get as close as I can to the edges. Then I'm going to pick up a makeup brush and I'm literally going to go over the bits that I've popped on with a sponge. The next step is going in with a little bit of eyeshadow just around the hairline. I prefer to use eyeshadow rather than face paint because it just looks a little bit softer. I just go in really lightly just in this area. And I'm just going to come really lightly around by where the hollows of the temple are and just join onto this cheekbone contour. And then just bring it really lightly just around the contour of the face. You kind of just want to create a shadow, but you could do that by pressing so lightly. Then you can take some of the eyeshadow and just buff around the edge of the eye socket. Next, I'm picking up some eyeshadow on my little Refa brush, my little pointy brush, and I'm just going to go down the middle of my face. Now, you don't have to do this middle bit, it just provides that before and after, but it's supposed to look a little bit jaggedy and not perfect and not straight. Okay, we're going to go in now and we're going to do the teeth, which is really, really easy. It looks harder than what it is. So I'm using my Refa brush again, my pointy one, and I'm going to go in with the face paint this time. So all we're going to do is going to draw a few lines which get narrower in size, and we're going to end here where the contour of our cheekbone is. So just a line from the top of your lip to the bottom. Then I want you to just draw a line from here to this back tooth. So the next part is really, really easy. We are basically going to do what looks like little triangles just at the top where the root of the tooth would be. So a line like this. And a line like this, which forks out. And then you're going to do the same on the next. So little triangle. And again on the other side, and do that all the way across. And you're going to do the same on the bottom. Then I'm going to take my brush and I'm actually just going to deepen up the inner part of the lip. So it looks like this, and you can just do a little bit on the top as well. I guess that's just where the lips would be. I'm taking the same brush again and I am going to just soften up these edges by dipping into a tiny little bit of black eyeshadow, and I'm just going to just roughen up these edges a little bit. And I'm going to do the same on the top. And then you can just bring this contour, just connect it up to where the bottom of the teeth would be. I also like to take an angled brush. I kind of just like to spend a bit of time blending down. And then you can use the same brush and just go over any bits that you think needs a little bit extra. Next, we're going to go in and we're going to put a few little cracks around the skull. And I'm doing this with eyeshadow. You can do this with the face paint. It's completely up to you. You want as little product on the applicator as possible. And this is definitely not going to be neat and tidy. I'm going to do one down from the eye. And then I'm going to take what's left on my little Morphe brush and I'm just going to tap just around some of the more prominent bones just to give it a bit of dimension. I'm not adding any more eyeshadow to this. It just needs to be really barely there. So I'm just going to take some time now and I'm just going to deepen up some of the black and then we'll have a look at the finished look. So there we go, a super easy Halloween half skull makeup tutorial. Honestly, if I can do this, you most definitely can. And if there are parts that you think that you might struggle with, then just leave it out or just alter it completely. It's not supposed to be perfect. No Halloween makeup is supposed to be perfect unless you are a professional makeup artist. So do let us know down in the comments, what are your easy go-to Halloween makeup looks? I would love to do this annually and try out some of your suggestions. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, take care and bye for now.